The 33rd Annual Asian Football Confederation Congress took place today in Bahrain, and the big announcement is that Saudi Arabia will be hosting the 2027 Asian Cup tournament. Now originally there were two bids, which were Saudi Arabia and India, though India did drop their hosting bid at the back end of 2022, recognising they needed a strategic vision in order to improve Indian football, and they introduced that called their 2047 vision, which was their roadmap on how they were going to become more competitive. I made a video about it. If you'd like to have a look, please subscribe to the channel and check that out. But back to Saudi Arabia, with India dropping out, it wasn't a huge surprise they got the bid, but to be honest, they probably would have got it anyway because they've got a better infrastructure, and I think they had the majority backing to host the tournament. Saudi Arabia have a great history in the Asian Cup as well, winning the tournament in 1984, 1988 and 1996, but never actually hosting the tournament, so this will be a first for them. Now the Asian Cup features all the best teams across Asia, so of course Japan, South Korea, Iran, and qualifying will start from October 2023. This is really good news for the Saudis. The president of the Saudi Arabian Football Federation, Yasser Al-Mithal, said, "This is a hugely exciting time for Asian football and we are delighted to be selected as host for the Asian Cup in 2027. As three-time winners of the tournament, we have a great history in all competition, but our focus is on the future and growing the game all across Asia." He added, "It's time to take Asian football to the next level and our efforts as hosts will prioritise that goal." Now I think that's really interesting that one of the key focuses is not just improving Saudi Arabia, but Asian football as well. And I had a look to see if I could specifically find what goals they had to achieve that. And they didn't provide a lot of information, but two things I did find were they want to establish programs to collaborate with all AFC member associations to create an equal playing field with new opportunities for all, and supporting the development of youth football, bringing the next generation of talent into the game. Now I think certainly the development of youth football is something that every nation pretty much talks about and wants to focus on. Every confederation talks about and wants to focus on, so that's not a surprise. Where they talk about collaborating with all AFC members to make it an equal playing field for all, I think what they're recognising there is that there's no point in one nation or two nations becoming so dominant in the confederation, because you'll create a scenario like the Oceanic where you've got just one team which is dominant and competitive. I believe what they want to do is so Asian teams can be really competitive at World Cup tournaments, on the grander stage. Bring everyone up together, get everyone developing, get everyone playing so the competitive level is much improved so they can compete against European and the South American teams. And this is a big milestone for Saudi Arabia. They are establishing themselves, aren't they, as a top sporting destination. If you think they've had boxing, such as Joshua versus Ruiz, they've had lots of WWE events, they've had golf, snooker, Spanish Super Cup, and now they have the 2027 Asian Cup, which is obviously different. If you think of boxing, that's a one-night event, but the planning and implementing of a whole tournament takes a lot more to focus on. So you'd have to think of the fans, the accommodation, travel, security, cultural differences and inclusion, and how you're going to make everyone feel welcome, all of that sort of stuff. And if we can talk about Asian football in general for just a second, it's gaining so much respect on the back of the World Cup. I think people are recognising that the Asian teams are more competitive and at a higher standard, and you see that Japan were really good, South Korea made it through to the knockout stages as well, even Saudi Arabia and Iran were competitive in really tough groups. I mean, Saudi beating Argentina, need I say more? We know that in the last 10-15 years a lot of Asian countries have focused on their infrastructure, their youth development, and we can really start to see that coming through. And yes, where Saudi's concerned, of course they've got the money to obviously invest in all of this. However, it's good to see that they're getting dividends, and while Asian football continues to grow, Saudi are going to make sure that they are at the heart of that. Now this is great news for 2027, but remember, we're still waiting on the 2023 Asian Cup. Dates haven't been announced for that yet. Now in case you don't know, it was due to be hosted in China, but they pulled out due to their zero COVID policy. In stepped Qatar, who said, "Hey guys, I hear you need someone to host the Asian Cup. We're just about to host the World Cup. We've got stadiums, we've got transport, we've got accommodation all sorted. Do you want to come over?" And everyone was like, actually, that makes sense, let's just do that. Which was sensible. But the tournament was due to take place in June. However, we know that Qatar is too hot in June for there to be any football, so the talk is that it's going to be moved to December or January 2024. However, still yet to be announced, so hopefully we'll hear something soon. And that's the big announcement from the AFC. So what do you think to Saudi Arabia hosting the Asian Cup? Please let me know in the comments. As always, like and subscribe for more content, and I'll speak to you soon.